Hey y'all, welcome you little junkies. This is my office. Hope y'all are well. Hope everything's going good. How's ye mom and them? Welcome to my channel if you're new, and welcome back, and bless your heart if you're here for another episode. In West Texas, the springs have sprung, and not just seasonally, but also mechanically. I have been battling a sinus infection brought on by allergies for about 2 weeks. I have just now got my voice back, so that's why I'm late kind of filming my monthly wrap up, and really I've just felt like crap, so I'm kind of on upswing now. We'll see how long that lasts. It's just now getting warm here. We are in my office today because I don't have anything to show you quilt wise. Not even haul. I don't even, can you, like, that's a true hallelujah moment, because go me. I thought, since I don't have any quilting to show you, I'm going to film on my computer, and I keep all of my cross-stitch stuff inside and then just sew out in the shop. So we're just going to show you all that stuff from Downton Abbey to the virtual retreat from the middle of the month. I had touched so many projects because I didn't do the retreat piece because my fabric was late getting here. So I just started something else new in honor of a retreat piece. So, a big pile here. I have some stitching kindness from Janelle, and then also some from my mama. She bought me something like crafty, but not stitchy or quilting related, but we still love it. So, another kind of spring spraying. The spring in my bobbin case on my Bernina, oh, it's like stretched, which I know is my fault. Wait, it doesn't matter. We don't have to point the finger at ourselves. But I had to call my dealer, Marcia, in Odessa at the Wooden Spool Boutique to order me a new one. And then I had to go to Odessa to pick it up. But it's here now, and that's what counts. So basically all that was, it was just a tension issue with my baby Bernina. She gave me a fright, but it's just the replacement of the bobbin. We're all good and rolling forward, but it did kind of like cramp my style for a bit. Okay, do y'all hear that? Hi, Bubba. What are you doing? Why are you so mad? Why are you so mad? I'm trying to film. Did you know? Oh, you don't care? I don't have any snacks. Okay. Sorry. Back to what I was saying, which was basically a ramble about, sorry I'm late, I've been sick, and my machine's been down, so I don't have a lot to show you. And let's jump into the stitching, shall we? So first up, we've got an FFO to show you that I couldn't show you last time because Janelle had not seen it. So Janelle and I, being Janelle and I, had organized an exchange, a smalls exchange between the two of us, because we knew that we weren't going to be able to meet the date that we needed to get them in to Katie, to put them in the boxes, to go out for the retreat. Bye, bud. He's cranky. So, without further ado, here's what I made for Janelle. So I sent that to her with a few other little goodies because it couldn't travel alone. And it got there safe. She got it and it was all good, so we love that. I do have a new start that I started in honor of the retreat. Honestly, I started it because I was wanting to. So this is an old pattern from, I don't know the year, but it's a paper chart. And it's like a scroll. And does it look like a sandwich to you? I hope so, because it is. But this is how much I stitched during the retreat of the sandwich. It looks kind of funky right now because the back stitching is not in yet. Can tell you it's called Dieter's Dream from Cappy Originals, and here is what it will look like. I don't know why, I just love it. So it had been kitted up for a while. Somebody gave some stuff to my mom, and then she gave it to me, and this happened to be one of those things. So it was already kitted up, ready to go, and I had, in my mind, had planned to start for the retreat. So my mind was made up to start something, and here's the stitching. Excuse the needle. So I can't tell you like the percentage wise where we're at, but you saw the highlighted portion. So I love this whole fish in here. And like, this is a watermelon. Let's just put some watermelon slices that look tiny. Let's do that. And this whole half of an avocado. So I'm loving, I think it's hilarious. And then this is a shrimp down here. Like I said, the back stitching is going to really make this sucker come alive. But that was a start that I had for the retreat, and I just really enjoyed it. It's silly, no pressure. I'm stitching it on some Ada that I got from somewhere. I don't know what it is, but it's just like a 16 count, I'm pretty sure. We were blowing and going during the retreat, so that's just going to be a surprise as I pull out. So I did work on Mary Morgan's, which is a Fox and Rabbit sampler that is very colorful. And I think the prompt for this, I think it got a few prompts. I know one of them was the word roses. And it has that big rose in the center that I have not got to. But I think I use this for a couple things. But here we are here. It's just so colorful and bright, and I'm digging it. So I actually got this up to 15% during the retreat. This is in my markup XP, so I can tell you details like that. But every time I pull this one out, I'm like, hey, you should stitch on that, because I do really like it. Like I said, I love that it's colorful. Ooh, it's kind of vibing with my primaries today, so maybe we'll pull that back. I'm gonna leave it handy. Another thing that I worked on was this lives in one of my tiger lily keepers. This is my basically just for the beetles magical mystery tour series that lives in here. So Strawberry Fields Forever got some love. Here we are. So this is at 26 and some change. I'm not going to unroll it, but you can see the house is just right around there. So there's that one. And then the other one that I pulled out during the retreat was Yellow Submarine. I think the prompt for this was like sea creature. And I would argue that submarine's a sea creature in itself. So here we are. I don't have this one. I'm stitching kind of in a rebel type manner with my iPad and just kind of marking through it as I go. But this is great for retreat stitching because of all the yellow. You can just kind of get started and whip some stitches in there. Also, one of my favorites and his little Wellingtons. Okay, that's what I got out of this one, and we're going to keep those handy too because I really like stitching on them. They've been just hanging around for far longer than I'd like to admit, and I would like to see them on the wall. This is one that got, I think, 2 prompts. And when I say, I mention prompts, but basically when you do a digital retreat with Black Needle Society, you're stitching for purpose. Like this one is X amount of stitches that the group brings and puts in throughout the retreat. There's a donation made at the end. So that's really cool. If you do frogwarts, those points go to your house, and then there's prizes distributed, you know, throughout to like door prize almost. The prompt on this, I know one of them was pants. So find something and stitch if the pattern has pants. And then I think this one also got pulled for, let me just show you, horse. So we got some X's in on this. Nelson by Plum Street Samplers. And George Washington has a body. He's kind of a headless horseman right now, but he's on his way. Like to see this one. This is stitched on a mystery linen. I also got some X's in on some of my frogwarts pieces. This is a Black Needle Society bag that all the frogwarts live in. This is how I keep mine packaged. Like I just have the packaged, organized. This, I just have the pattern here, and then I have a clip, a binding clip for holding it together, and then I have them folded up inside so I can keep them together but accessible. This is year 4. I just put some border in, so that's where we're at. I think I used this one, the prompt was ring, so the Quidditch rings is how we got there. Half the fun when pulling projects, if you're not stitching the retreat piece in this case, is sometimes you got to get a little creative with the prompt. I love to see my frogwarts pieces come out, and like I've talked in other videos, I don't really blast through those because they're great for challenge stitching during frogwarts too. So I just am kind of letting those live their life. This next one was pulled, the prompt was ship, and it was also pulled for text, I think, but I put this kind of green border in here and here, and then I got to a point here where I was off a stitch, so I set this down for the retreat. I'm gonna have to make some creative decisions on my own to get this sorted on this side. This is by Forbidden Fiber Co. Never Say Die, and it's stitched on their fabric with Forbidden Fibers floss, which has been super enjoyable. Here's some of it, and then here's some of it here. That's been nice. Oh, don't judge me. Oh, this is kind of a mess. But like I said, when you're doing retreat stitching, you're blowing and going, okay? So just relax. It's just for fun, okay? It's a hobby. It's a lifestyle, really. I think we can all agree. But so that was fun. This lives in a fat quarter shop, little zipper. These are nice because they've got a boxed end and you can fit a bunch of junk in there. So it's good for bigger projects or if you want to pack multiples. Morticia's second line. I had her pulled, but I don't know if I ended up stitching. She's not in her Q-snap, so let me see. I may have just stitched some in hand. I don't know. Oh, she's out. Let me just show you where she'd be now. This is Floating Needle. It's fun. Morticia's second line by Dirty Annie's, and this is where she's at here. So fun. This makes me laugh every time. And this is stitched on some Ada. I don't have a name for it, and I'm sad I don't because I really like the color, and I think I could really enjoy that with some other pieces that I have. But here's what the pattern looks like, minus this. I still don't know what the hell's going on here. Misprint or what, but he is not charted with a black snorkel going down the road, so I don't know what happened. But I just recharted them because I wanted all in a line, more of like a parade style. I know it's going to be a pain to frame, but that's future Jenny's issue. The rest of them. I need to finish pulling this out. I don't like this green, and past Jenny has clearly made a decision where we were just going purple vibes. So I need to finish pulling that out and then really finish this word and Izzy decaying up here, and we're pretty close there. These threads live, I think I got this at the Target dollar spot. This is like a medicine carrier, and I'm stitching this with Sulky, and so look at that, they just fit real nice in there. This is Silver Creek Samplers, Izzy decaying. Kind of stitched this with my girl Tara and Jennifer. Jennifer finished it like probably a year ago at this point, but so it's close. That'd be nice to knock that out before Halloween, but that may be a little ambitious. I know, I don't even know if I got full credit on this one because this was a bit of a stretch. The prompt was bed, and I pulled out the burrow because they have a bed of flowers, or a flower bed, if you will, in front of the house. So I was like, man, I had to take my shot. So I don't know. I don't remember if I got full stitches or if I was penalized, but I did get some stitching in into the blue section here, which is nice. I hate stitching creams, which is pretty dumb because my next full coverage too I've got coming up is basically all cream from here till the end of time. She's up to like 15%, which feels fake to me. That feels like bad math. But anytime you can just even put in, you know, a couple hundred stitches and a full coverage, that's a win. You know, these are going to be like 5-10 year long projects. This lives in another black needle bag from our Stars Hollow retreat. Fun, fun. And here's my Texas flag. I used this, the prompt was just flags, so this lives in my first attempt at a project bag. Super classy with those solo cups and my flip zipper here. I also keep my extra thread here and call 811. That's our dig test number. But I think my dad picked this up and I was like, yes, thank you. Let's see. Here we are with my Texas flag. I just put, I like to touch it to be honest, but I just put some more beige in here during the retreat. Full coverage pieces are not, I wouldn't say super retreat friendly because there's so much confetti stitching, but truly I'm there to chit chat with my friends on the internet, so it's fine. And like I said, if you have an opportunity to touch your projects, that's what's more interesting to me. So this was fun. And then when I was deciding, like, am I going to force myself to stitch the retreat piece on, I have it right here. I didn't want to stitch it on the called for fabric because I wanted to see and consider a blue fabric. So I was like, which was late getting to me. And so that's neither here nor there, but I was like, I don't want to force myself to stitch this. Like it's not a big deal if I'm not 100% sold on it. So as I was going through the prompts that Katie put together, I was just thinking, no, I will pull my current projects and start my sandwich. So that's what I did. And I really enjoyed, I was more excited, I guess is what I'm trying to say, I was more excited to get some work on these projects that have been begging for attention versus start something I wasn't 100% sure in love with. So that's where we landed and it was a good time. So those are the things that I touched during the Downton Abbey retreat with the Black Needle Society. And then of course I have my best friend that I've been focused on this month is my aunt's mother's tree. Y'all, there's a tree. Wasn't it just Arbor Day? So now I'm just filling in basically across here. Well, I have the letters in here. And so I'll bring this down I think it's like a roundabout here-ish, and then then we'll start on the letters for the lineage. This is a nerd scroll frame. I mean, honestly, look how huge this is. It's just not friendly in my Lowry stand. And I tried the little attachment that's for rolled edges, but it's too heavy. And I don't want to like get another stand for this to sit on. So I like to put it in here. I have this L-shaped desk that I'm on, and I like to put it in here across and stitch on it. It's just really comfortable now that I've gotten the tree down this far, and I'm not reaching at the top of this. So I do like the Nerge. I don't think, like when I got it, I just really wanted something that wasn't gonna like permanently crease the piece. When I stitched my mom's, I fought with that a long time, and to get the creases out of it, I'm sure if you look close, girl, they're still there. Like I said, I just fought with it, so doing this a second time, I knew a few things I wanted to do different, but this Nerge frame, I like it. It's just friggin' heavy. I think once I get done with this on here, I will put the full coverage piece, maybe the flag, so I can just have it situated, it's out, it's ready to go. We'll see. But I'm very excited about that. Look at that back. Baby got back. That's what I've been stitching on. I do have a little bit of stitchy haul. Like I said, I finally got my blues in for what I was planning or wanted to at least consider. These are the two that I ordered. They're from Garibaldi's Needleworks. This one is Blue Ice, and then this one is Baby Blue. Baby Blue, like that George Strait song, anybody? So I'm thinking this. I'm going to consider this whenever next year when the retreat comes around. Maybe I'll start that then. But I got this too. I have the Mary Poppins one that goes with this. And Mary Poppins and Peter Pan is where my lore started. Like, those were my two favorites. And so I think I got this for this. I'm not really sure. Also, Janelle sent me a little bit of stitchy. Do you count yarn as stitchy kindness? I don't know. So this is a cute little bag. And then she sent me some, what are these called? Janelle, what are these called? Stitch markers, I think. And they're Downton theme. Look at this. Ooh. Here we go. I'm gonna have to do a group call for her to teach me how to use these. But Janelle and I are going, she's gonna get me all set up, teach me how to knit so I can make myself a Weasley sweater. She also sent me these two squishy beauties. These are wool. Lamb's Pride Super Wash Bulky. I mean, how sweet is she? I've never knit or crocheted with anything that's not from a box store. A few years ago, we went to New Zealand, and I was not in my knitting, crocheting phase of life. I was stitching a little bit, but I was basically a quilter. I'm kicking myself in the ass for not being a knitter or crocheter more heavily then. So I could have had like the best, most legit yarn haul coming from there. But maybe it was really like in disguise a blessing, because my dad was already hauling fabric, like muling fabric for me in his backpack on the way home. Anyway, it's really cool to have these. Thank you, Janelle. And then she also sent this, which is called Harlow. And this is a worsted weight, and it's got a little bit of acrylic in it, which is fine. But I'm just thinking, it's called Lavender Loon Yarn Company. I don't know what this is called, like these little specks and flecks. I don't know if there's a name for that, but I love that look. So we're going to learn to make a beanie. This is beautiful. This is beautiful. I don't know what I'm going to do with it, like I said, but that kind of thing doesn't matter. She also popped in some fabric for me because she knows I'm a material girl. Okay, so these are like some cute buttons that are kind of laid on a camo. situation. Love that. Love that, love that. And then, I don't know where she found these, but these are awesome. These are panels that are very Downton-esque. I think I'll cut the letters out individually as I make gifts and stuff and applique them on to different projects. Look at this cool J. Right here. Like cut that out and like boom on a sweater or something. I don't know. Super cool panel. And then it also matches this panel here that would make some killer project bags. So that is super sweet. Thank you so much, Janelle. I can't wait to get into that. Y'all, have so many projects though. And then my actual real job really gets in the way of my sewing, stitching, knitting, etc. so forth. Thank you again, Janelle. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And I can't wait to be able to get into some of those projects as I whittle my other to-do list down. The other thing that I have on my radar as far as plans go is I'm going to finish, ooh, could you imagine? Can you even? I almost said finish Kay's Mother's Trait. It's at 46%. I don't think I can finish it in a month. But can I finish it in 2 months? I kind of want to have a BNS. And if anyone wants to join me, hashtag BNS. I don't even know if hashtags are a thing. I'm old enough to know when they were called pound signs, but you know, whatever. These kids and their riz, it's just hard to keep up with. But I'm thinking I want to do BNS and pull out my Magical Mystery Tours projects and get some time in on them. So let's run through these again right quick. This one I do not have kitted. I do not have started. This would be, I like to say I need to get another thing done before I start this, but I kind of like the idea of having everything in tow on the go. Like obviously this one, Yellow Submarine, there's no way around it. People are going to know that one. This one is very like, are those strawberries? Yes. Yes, they are. So you're like, okay, strawberries, strawberry fields. Like that's kind of a stretch to get there. Then you see this long and winding road and you're like, okay, I won't finish it like this, but then this one I think is one of them that's funny to me. This one's Eleanor Rigby. And I actually have some good progress done on this. But I think if this in the house and somebody sees it and they're like, Eleanor Rigby? I think I know an Eleanor Rigby. It's not too on the nose like this one. But you're like, Eleanor Rigby. And it looks kind of like a sampler, like, does Jenny have a family member named Eleanor Rigby? What? So anyway, I just think it's interesting. Probably nobody would ever even look at it and be like, But if I saw this on someone's wall, that's what I would think. So anyway, I think I'm going to pull these out and have a little BNS over here. So this Eleanor Rigby pattern comes with a conversion that is a little bit more vibrant. Not a little bit, a lot of it. So I stitched it in the colored version, and this is on a linen that I feel medium about. It's a 32 count Stars Hollow blend by R&R. It's fine. Am I going to order only 32 count R&R? Nope. I would probably get 36 count. It's a little loose, but it's fine. I'll stitch on anything. It's all good. Because I've already got Blackbird done, and I passed the pattern to my Aunt Kay, but here's the stitch. This was a quick stitch. So see, she's just done. She just needs some friends to get up on the wall. I'm kind of thinking, now that I'm looking at this, I'm thinking, did I make the right decisions with stitching this in the colored version and not the kind of gothic version? It doesn't matter now because we in it, girl. let me know what y'all are going to do in May. I know there's like Mirror May, which I've got some mirrors that could use some love, but like I said, these are, I feel like, more attainable. I do not have anything to show. I have nothing in my hands. I finished 2 baby quilts, which I'll pop in here. I actually finished them before the babies got here, which I don't think that's ever happened. They probably won't use their quilts for a few months because it's hot. Hobby tube, is that a thing? Because I got multiple interests, and really, you know, there's science out there that says learning a new skill is good for your brain, especially when you're an adult and past the point of development. Just saying. Okay, party people. My mom got me the Woobles Harry Potter Advent, and it's taking all of my willpower to not start these. My niece is almost out of school, and I think it's time for her to learn how to crochet. Have y'all seen that reel that there's a girl and she's with her mom going to Michael, I don't know, they're going somewhere, and she's like, why do you want to go? And she's like, I want to learn crocheting. Have y'all seen that? It's hilarious. So now every time I see crochet, I'm like, crocheting. Let's do some crocheting. We've all been there. We've all mispronounced something, and I'm so fortunate to have grown up in a time where cameras were like boombox heavy and weren't recording every move that I made. Back to the woobs here. So this is an Advent style situation that I don't think that I'm going to Advent. I think that when next time my nieces stay, we're gonna get into this. So let me just open one. If you don't know, a wooble is a crocheting project, and when you buy wooble kits, they come with everything you need. So this is a Ron Weasley hook. It's orange, just like his her. And then you get all the yarn to make whatever it is you're making. And I've never made a wooble, but I have heard that there's plenty there, which I like, because sometimes when you get kitted stuff, you're like, oh, what if I screw up? So anyway, that's where we're at. And this kit, or this pack or whatever, came with a little kit that has the eyes and a big weaving needle. I've done one other, they call these armagumi. Am I saying that right? Regardless, I crocheted Bullseye from Toy Story, and that's pretty much the extent of a stuffy anything that I've made outside of that crazy cat that I made last year, which I'm a huge fan still. These are called Wee Wobbly Bits, and they come in these packets, and it's the eyes, it's, you know, whatever, you know, if they need like a few accent pieces for facial expressions. So I don't know who all's in here. Let's just do one more. This is how it starts. Guys, this is how it starts. Let's do a weird shaped box. I'm not going to open this. Are you kidding me? If this is a little broom. Hello. I love the packaging. I love this box. It's very satisfying. It's magnetic closure. Spring is sprung. Like I said, if you can keep your allergies at bay, it's a good time. I think that is all I have as far as crafty crafts go. Let's jump into my other hobby / my favorite way to fall asleep, shall we? Okay, y'all, let's get lit. for a minute, okay? I have started tracking my reading. I just have really enjoyed looking up other people's thoughts, talking about it. Beth has a Discord going on. Love that. My girl Amanda, she's like a 5-star recommender. I think that she reads a lot more horror, but I think she recognizes that I'm not there yet. And I think, I may be wrong. Amanda, let me know if I'm wrong. But I think she's trying to nudge me there. She's like, you can do it. You can do it.
Let me tell you this. I don't know that I would hate horror books. I've been reflecting on this, and I think that the biggest deal with me in horror movies is the music in them.
I can watch them on mute. Like, if it's on mute, that's fine. Unless an animal's getting injured or, you know, there's a few things that I refuse to watch or be involved in. And really, like, if they're in a book, I flip those pages right past me. I feel manipulated by the scoring of a movie. I know people spend a ton of time, and that's their whole job in Hollywood, which is to manipulate people. I mean, we can have that conversation in a later day, but Amanda, long story long, what I'm trying to say, I don't know. I may get there. I may become a horror reader. One thing about me, I'm going to have several books going. Like, I'm going to have a night book that I read, and then I'm going to have some faster paced books that I listen to. Or anyway, so I think that I could probably get into the horror or kind of like horror related, because as long as I don't read it at night and my dreams go out of control, I think we'd be good. So with all that being said, I read 8 books this month, and I DNF'd one. So I'm just pulling up my GoodReads. If you want to follow me on the GoodReads, it's JenCanBrad is my handle on GoodReads. This is the first book of the year that I did not finish, and it's called This Book Will Bury Me. I think I said that, and it's by Ashley Winstead. I was not a fan. At least in my opinion. I just thought it was feeling too cringy because this trial hasn't even started. It's supposed to start in June, okay? A new app I found this weekend. It is called Libro FM, and it's linked to your local bookshop, which I think is really cool because I'm breaking up with Amazon. Will be officially over in August. I canceled my Prime account for multiple reasons. I downloaded it immediately as a way to support her shop. And so I got this book Will Bury Me, and got halfway, almost 40% through it, DNF'd it. Cool thing, I was worried that I was gonna have burned a credit for nothing, put in a ticket, and they're like, no problem, boo, I got you. Now I got a credit burning a hole in my pocket. Consider that book haul, I guess. It's much cheaper than an Audible credit. I had it since the end of last year. I was reading a book, I don't remember what it was, but I was like, this sounds real familiar. Took me half the book to realize I'd already read it. It just didn't connect. Anyway, so I'm trying to do better. My GoodReads and tracking in general. So I had my first book of the month was a recommendation. Her handle, I always in my mind read it as Beth Moorbooks, which I don't know, maybe that's a real person, but her handle is Beth Morvant, and I've been hanging out with her in her Discord. She's awesome. She's very real, which I always appreciate. I also appreciate that she is not shoving book talks down my throat. Like, she's the one pulling all of Stephen King's works, and she's reading them in order as much as she can. Anyway, follow her. She's a great time. And like I said, she's pulling books that are not being talked about. She's pulling books that you're not going and seeing on every TikTok. I don't TikTok, but you know how TikTok bleeds into Facebook and bleeds into Instagram? No, she's like maybe here and there she'll mention it. But for the most part, I'm like, didn't know that existed. let me get some of that. And one of those was Finley Donovan is Killing It by Elle Cosimano. Maybe it's Ellie. I don't know. This is what I would call a funny mystery, which is my jam. The humor in books is really, really hard, in my opinion, to find. Basically, a struggling author becomes a hit woman accidentally. There's a series. I will continue this. I rated this 4 stars easily, probably a little higher just because of the humor in it. I tried to read Outlander 3-ish years ago. I'm not sure, but I just couldn't catch my vibe with it. So this time, I immersively read them, meaning I read them and listened at the same time to just the first book, but I did enjoy it. I will say I was not super motivated to jump into the next one, but I did like it. There was several twists in there that I was very happy to see. I love when I can't guess what's happening. Give me more of that. I guess the whole point of this segment is, would I recommend this book? I would recommend it. I would say be ready to pay attention and be ready to maybe have to reread a couple of things because it's historical fiction. There's some romance. There's some kind of fantasy stuff in there. I don't know. Time travel's fantasy, I guess. Doc Brown would say otherwise, but let's be honest. It's not something that happens every day that I know of. The next one is Emily Henry's Happy Place. This is a rom-com or a contemporary romance. I call it a rom-com like if it was a movie because that's what it feels like. I think the genre is just not for me. I don't think that it's not a bad book. It's fine. It's silly. It's lighthearted. Characters are pretty relatable. I'll give you that. Overall, I don't know if I could recommend it because it's like, do you like rom-com? I don't. That's what I learned. Do I want to pick up any more of her books like right off the bat? No, I don't. If someone was like, hey, you read the wrong one, try this, I'll be like, yeah, I will try that. The next one I did, again, this one was recommended and is on my Amanda Says shelf. Throne of Glass, 4 stars. It's arguably the first of a series, which I think we all know they're not going to be huge bangers. In my opinion, I haven't experienced that because we're laying a lot of groundwork, right? We're laying a lot of foundational details for and about characters and places and magic systems and who the who's are and what the what's are and what do they do and how do they interact. The basis of it is a young assassin. She's a teenager, let's be honest. She battles for her freedom in a gladiator type environment. And then she has some friends along the way. I'm still in it. I jumped to the second one quickly. This one was better. This was a 4.5 star for me. I read these kind of like bam bam. And I do like this. So it's a continuation of her story. And she's still fighting for her freedom. She's still in the same place. But now she learns about some of her lineage. And she gets a dog. 5 stars for puppies. My thoughts are, and I quote, I'm in, will continue series. That's what I wrote right here. Also started my journey to Middle Earth this month. Last month, today's May. Last month with The Hobbit. I know. Where have you been? What have you been doing? Let me tell you, if it's a movie, I will actively avoid movies if I know they're books so I can give the book a chance because, everybody say it with me. The book was better. The book was better. We know it. So I knew this Lord of the Rings is, kind of a big deal. So I have been putting it off and finally just jumped in. It's written more for children, which I appreciate that too, because it's not like a watered down version of anything. I would say it's a young person's book, maybe, because it's not like The Dog Ran Fast. To me, that's a children's book. I don't know any kids these days that could keep up with one story for this long without being like, I'm done. Like, your attention span has to be plugged in, especially if this is the jumping off point for a bigger series. So I appreciate Tolkien for saying, pay attention. The payoff's there, which I think it was. I'm kind of nervous because I'm like, please be as good as the universe says you are. But if it's not, it's not. It's cool. No worries. Some people don't like Harry Potter, but we're still friends with them. The next one I jumped into, which this was kind of a reread. I don't know if y'all heard of Chaos by Tom O'Neill. There was a Netflix doc that was released. I was like, so I just did a listen because, you know, good old Netflix has a good habit of taking one thing and turning it into another. So what I did, I watched that and then I went back and listened to this again, which overarching, this is a nonfiction, truly. I don't know where it's shelved in the real world, but it is nonfiction. And this connects the Manson murders to misconduct in the USG. Have you MK Ultra anybody? I don't mean ultra like Michelob Ultra. I mean like government misconduct, brainwash situations. I know. I probably lost half of y'all. Jump in that. Let me know what you think. I'll be here. I'll be waiting. I've got one more that was also an Amanda Says read, and it was my only 5-star of the month. It's called Ninth House by Lee, I think is how we're going to say her name. Bardugo. 5 stars. 5 stars. I could not read this fast enough. So overall, genre, all of them. All of them. Like dark, academic, a little bit of horror, maybe like sprinkling it on. I've never been to Yale. I don't know if you knew that about me, but I've never been to Yale, but we all know that they have some dark kind of secret societies there. Is this fiction? Apparently, the author went to school there, and so she knows a lot about the lore, if you will, of these societies. I listened to it, and at the very end, there was an interview with her, which just added to the story, because I was, again, is this fiction? I don't know. I'd be like, did Rory Gilmore know this was going on at Yale? Hello? Just kidding. But then too, you kind of like, there's a list at the very end, which you can Google this too, but there's a list of like famous people, presidents, things that have been a part of these organizations. I don't know. Give it a shot. This book will, until proven otherwise, Amanda, I will take any recommendbe that Amanda gives me. Okay, well, I think that's all I've got for you. I feel like April was super fast. May be fast too. We're going to focus on her. Seeing that number, 46.5%, has kind of changed my mind around what I want to do. We'll see. Every time I plan, things go off the rails. So let's just plan to make something cool, read something cool, and just be cool. And we'll see you next time. Bye.